Alright, so what's going on, guys? I'm gonna go ahead and start I'm gonna go through this tutorial by Dennis Ivy today, Django Crash Course. I'm gonna go ahead and try this out. I have Windows 10. I also have Windows subsystem for Linux installed in VS Code, but I will be using just the regular command prompt terminal here in VS Code instead of the WSL terminal, so that I can just use the same commands that he's using. I am going to be setting up a virtual environment to let's see here. Yeah, so I will be setting up a virtual environment, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this tutorial though.
Tutorial series on Django. In this series, I'm going to be teaching you how we can use Django to build out a fully functional website. We'll cover things like rendering your first page, setting up a database, adding items to that database, and rendering those items out on a web page. The application I decided to build for this course is going to be a customer management platform. This application stores customer information in a database, kind of like a CRM like Zoho. Users will have the ability to create customers and customer orders, along with viewing those customers and updating customer information like orders and basic contact information on a customer's profile page. We'll also have the ability to search customer information using a multi-parameter search form. As I release this series, I'll be adding things like login authentication, password resetting, and whatever else you guys recommend in the comment section. If I don't add it to the series, I'll do my best to take your recommendations and make them in a video series separate from this course. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you can see those when I release them. So what is Django? To summarize it briefly, Django is basically a way we can create websites using Python. It's a very popular web framework that makes putting together websites much easier rather than writing out all that Python code yourself. So let's get started by installing Django and getting a basic project set up. I'll quickly go over the file structure and explain the parts that make Django work. The first thing we'll need is to install Python because we are downloading Django using the pip command. So I'm in the directory where I want to host my project, and I'll just go ahead and do pip install Django. And I already have it, so it's going to tell me that I have all the proper packages, but go ahead and let the install run. And once that's complete, to make
Alright, so first, let's see here. What did you just say?
sure pip install Django. Where I want to host my project, we are downloading Django using the pip command. So I'm in the directory where I want to host my
Perfect.
project, and I'll just go ahead and do pip install Django. And
I'm going to check my Django version just to make sure it's installed.
I already have it, so it's going to tell me.
Okay, that's it saying it's already there.
That I have all the proper packages, but go ahead and let the install run. And once that's complete, to make sure it installs properly, go ahead and run Django -admin and then hit enter. And if you see this, it means that Django installed correctly, and you now have access to all the commands that Django provides us now. And the one we're going to work with this start project command right here. This command gives us the
Alright, so I'm gonna go and just create the virtual environment. Truck it.
ability to start our first Django application. And launch our boilerplate files. So from the directory, again, where you want your project, go ahead and run Django-admin and use the start project command. So start project, and again, we're getting that right here. And at this point, all we need to do is give our project a name. So I'll just go ahead and call mine CRM, and then I believe I already have one called CRM, so I'll just do CRM1.
I'm just gonna make a virtual environment. Let's see here. It should work with Windows, so it's gonna have a different file structure to the virtual environment than it would if I created it in a Linux environment. Alright, so, and the reason that's important is because when you do activate it, it's going to, first of all, on Windows, you're just going to call it the project name, and you're going to call the scripts folder, and activate.bat, instead of typing in source first and then a space with the project name inside of the bin folder, as this is on Linux, and then you type activate at the end there to run that. But we're gonna go and activate this now. Alright, so our virtual environment is now activated. I'm going to cd into that now. Let's take a look at what's in here. Scripts folder, some files. That folder include, okay. Yeah, check out what the Python version is. And the pip version. Alright, so now I'm installing Django inside of the projects directory here. There we go. So now that works. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to continue.
And what this just did is in my directory, so on my desktop, it just created the boilerplate files for me. So here's CRM1, and I'll just drag that out there, and I'll go ahead and tap into that directory. So let's go ahead and change this to CRM1, and I'll just drag that out there, and I'll go ahead and tap into that directory. And I'll just drag that out there, and I'll go ahead and tap into that directory. So
okay, so Django admin, start project CRM1. Okay. And I don't actually see that he has a virtual environment set up here, so I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. But it's working at the moment, so I'm going to keep going. Okay, so quick question for Google. Alright, so I'm just going to take it that what I'm going to do is just create a directory within the virtual environment to house the project. So I'm going to virtual environment, got all this stuff, and I'm going to create a new directory called CRM1. Oh, so I think I missed that stuff. I think that's what we did.
Let's go and play files. CRM, so I'll just do CRM1.
Okay, no, I'm right out there. Okay, perfect. So I'm inside the
And
Alright, perfect. I think I'm following this to a T.
what this just did is in my directory, so on my desktop, it just created the boilerplate files for me. So here's CRM1, and I'll just drag that out there, and I'll go ahead and tap into that directory. So let's go ahead and change this to CRM1. Okay, so we're now in that project, and I'll go ahead and use Sublime Text, a text editor here, and I'll open up the files that we just had created for us, CRM1, and we'll go ahead and take a look inside here. I'll drag this out. Okay, so let's take a quick look inside all these project files.
Oh, snap. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just go ahead and type in, I'm going to go back in directory real quick. And I'm going to type in code. Open this up in a new window, see if this works. Boom, there we go. So everything's loaded. I'm gonna close out of this, close out of this, open up my. Oh, and look at that! I can't believe the virtual environment is still activated. Wonderful. But you know what I want to do just to make sure it is still activated. I'm gonna go. I mean, not the I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So that is the virtual environment. So that's still activated. Let me just double check here. I'm gonna go ahead and activate it one more time. go. So that's good to go.
Okay, so let's take a quick look and inside all these project files, and I'll just give you a brief overview. So the first one we're seeing here is this manage.py file. You never want to touch this file. This is a file that gives us access to just a list of commands that we're going to use very frequently, and you'll see. So we never want to touch it. Just leave it alone. And then in this folder.
Okay, so my file structure looks different.
Right here, so credit. So we never want just a list of.
Does it? Oh, not really. Okay, so let me see that. Oh, okay, that's because I have all this stuff right here. So I just have to remember this. Okay, so I should have opened up the actual project instead of the VM view. Alright, so let me get out of that. Let me see what happens. Oh, oops. What's that?
Commands that we're going to use very.
That looks technical. Oh, that's because. Oh, so you know what? I think I was right. Gosh. Like, oh gosh. Oh, is it? Oh no, I think it's actually fine. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, that's 1, 2, 2D. Cool. Okay, so that's fine. Oh, I am going to activate this though. Just to make sure that my Django install is the one I want it to be. How it works. I just want to make sure I'm following proper protocol. Hopefully. If not, I will rework it. Alright. Okay. Alright, I think we're back to base. That looks good in there.
frequently, and you'll see. So we never want to touch it, just leave it alone.
Alright, so we don't touch this. Okay.
And then in this folder right here, so I created the structure, CRM1, and then a folder inside in our root directory, we have this WSGI file. And this is basically a web server that Django sets up for us. And we're also not going to touch it now, but we'll just leave it alone for now. Then we have this urls.py file, and this is basically just a URL routing system. So all it is just a list here, and we're going to add a list of paths. So let's say mywebsite.com/customer, and when you type in that URL path, it lets the Django project know what to do with that URL. And the main file we're going to be using here is this settings.py file. And this is kind of like the command center, the main configuration to your Django app. And the main file we're going to be using here is this settings.py file. And this is kind of like the command / add a list routing file. And this side in our root directory, we have this WSGI file. And this is basically a web server that Django sets up for us. And we're also not going to touch it now, but we'll just leave it alone for now. Then we have this urls.py file, and this is basically just a URL routing system. So all it is just a list here, and we're going to add a list of paths. So let's say mywebsite.com/customer. And when you type in that URL path, it lets the Django project know what to do with that URL. And the main file we're going to be using here is this URLs directory. We have this WS folder right here. So I created this structure, CRM1, and then a folder inside in our root directory. We have this WSGI file. Created this structure, CRM1, and then a folder inside in our root directory. We have this WSGI file. Quick look inside all these projects. Overview.
Django admin start project. Oh, so that's what management. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I guess manage.py can do everything that Django admin can do. Let me take a look at manage.py. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, he said don't use manage.py. Use Django admin. Alright, so I'm 3 minutes in. We're looking good.
So the first one we're seeing here is this manage.py file.
Well, I made him talk way too slow, but let me see. Just so it doesn't go over my head.
Take a quick look inside all these project files, and I'll just give you a brief overview. So the first one we're seeing here is this manage.py file. You never want to touch this file. This is a file that gives us access to just a list of commands that we're going to use very frequently, and you'll see. So we never want to touch it. Just leave it alone. And then in this folder right here, so I created this structure CRM1, and then a folder inside in our root directory. We have this WSGI file.
Okay, so here's like the perfect thing for basically what he's saying. So if I need to like snap back and forth to the official docs, this is where I'll stay. Alright, let's see. Oh wow, so this is like, that's pretty cool. It seems like nice. So it's basically saying like my site is reusable. You can switch that so that, or not my site, but all the code in here is reusable. You could switch it between, okay, let me read. site directory. So this is our actual project. Or the actual Python package for our project. Can we get that out of the way? Oh, and then we got a knit. Okay. An empty file that tells Python that this directory should be considered a Python. An empty file that tells Python that this directory should be considered a Python package. That's what a knit is. Oh, it's initialized. Okay. So we have to initialize each package with init.py, it seems. Well, there goes my secret key. Make sure I gotta trash this. Warning, don't show this. Like, oh gosh, I messed up already.
Girl, get on the floor. Let me see just how you roll. Don't be up all night if you let me take you home. Girl, get on the floor. Let me see just how you roll. Don't be up all night. Girl, get on the floor. Let me see just how you roll. Don't be up all night if you let me take you home. Girl, get on the floor. Let me see just how you roll. Don't be up all night if you let me take you home.
got you gassed up. I've been ducked off in the city, trying to get my cash up, stack up. Feeling savage, I suggest you back up. Rob the game of everything, even keep my mask up. I've been high as hell, I think I took off last night and I'm flying still. The top shelf got me feeling I can never fail. Well, am I ever coming down? I can never tell. Look, past the wood, I'm burning it. I'm coming through disturbing shit. Been hot for several hours, thought to think this shit is permanent. I know you never heard of it. Let's see how I can word this shit. A different type of fly, cause I get high to lead the turbulence. If it's rolling ready, I'ma light it. I can never wait. Couple buses needed. I inhale then I levitate. The way to hit it, when you get it, I can never say. But you pushing sour, got me tripping like I'm LMA. I can teach you a few things, I'm not a tutor, dog. And when I finish, pass it to my shooter. Alley-ooper, point me to her. I know I can seduce her, I recruit her. I'm a trooper, I think I can see the future in the super.
Point me to her, I can teach you a few things, I'm not a tutor, dog. And when I finish, pass it to my shooter. Alley-ooper, point me to her. I know I can seduce her, I recruit her. I'm a trooper, I think I can see the future in the super.
Cool URIs don't change what makes a cool URI. A cool URI is one which does not change. What sorts of URI change? URIs don't change, people change them. There are no reasons at all, in theory, for people to change URIs or stop maintaining documents, but millions of reasons in practice. In theory, the domain namespace owner owns the domain namespace and therefore all URIs in it. Except insolvency, nothing prevents the domain name owner from keeping the name. And in theory, the URI space under your domain name is totally under your control, so you can make it as stable as you like. Pretty much the only good reason for a document to disappear from the web is that the company which owned the domain name went out of business or can no longer afford to keep the server running. Then why are there so many dangling links in the world? Part of it is just lack of forethought. Here are some reasons you hear out there. We've just reorganized on our website to make it better. Do you really feel that the old URIs cannot be kept running? If so, you chose them very badly. Think of your new ones so that you will be able to keep them running after the next redesign. We have so much material that we can't keep track of what is out of date and what is confidential and what is valid, and so we thought we'd better just turn the whole lot off. That I can sympathize with. The W3C went through a period like that when we had to carefully sift archival material for confidentiality before making the archives public. The solution is forethought. Make sure you capture with every document its acceptable distribution, its creation date, and ideally its expiry date. Keep this metadata. Well, we found we had to move the files. This is one of the lamest excuses. A lot of people don't know that servers such as Apache give you a lot of control over a flexible relationship between the area of an object and where a file which represents it actually is in a file system. Think of the URI space as an abstract space perfectly organized. Then, make a mapping onto whatever reality you actually use to implement it. Then, tell your server. You can even write bits of your server to make it just right. John doesn't maintain that file anymore, Jane does. Whatever was that URI doing with John's name in it? It was in his directory. I see. We used to use the CGI script for this and now we use a binary program. There is a crazy notion that pages produced by scripts have to be located in a C-given or CGI area. This is exposing the mechanism of how you run your server. You change the mechanism, even keeping the content the same, and whoops, all your URIs change. For example, take the National Science Foundation, NSF online documents http://www.nsf.gov/path/cgi-bin/pubc/browser/adbrowse. Is clearly not going to be something to trust being there in a few years. CGI bin and old browse and place all point to bits of how we do it now. By contrast, if you use the page to find a document, You get first an equally bad report of working group on cryptology and coding theory http://www.nsf.gov/cgi-bin/github?NSF9814 for the doc. But the HTML document itself, by contrast, is very much better. http://www.nsf.gov/pubs/1998/nsf9814/nsf9. The pubs 1998 header is going to give any future archive service a good clue that the old 1998 document classification scheme is in progress. Though in 2098 the document numbers might look different, I can imagine this URI still being valid. And the NSF or whatever carries on the archive not being at all embarrassed about it. I didn't think URLs have to be persistent, that was ERNs. This is probably one of the worst side effects of the ERN discussions. Some seem to think that because there is research about namespaces which will be more persistent, that they can be as lax about dangling links as they like, as ERNs will fix all that. If you are one of these folks, then allow me to disillusion you. Most ERN schemes I have seen look something like an authority ID followed by either a date and a string you choose, or just a string you choose. This looks very like an HTTP URI. In other words, if you think your organization will be capable of creating ERNs which will last, then prove it by doing it now and using them for your HTTP URIs. There is nothing about HTTP which makes your URIs unstable. It is your organization. Make a database which maps document ERN to current file name, and let the web server use that to actually retrieve files. If you have gotten to this point, then unless you have the time and money and contacts to get some software design done, then you might claim the next excuse. We would like to, but we just don't have the right tools. Now here is one I can sympathize with. I agree entirely. What you need to do is to have the web server look up a persistent URI in an instant and return the file. Wherever your current crazy file system has it stored away at the moment. You would like to be able to store the URI in the file as a check and constantly keep the database in tune with actuality. You'd like to store the relationships between different versions and translations of the same document. And you'd like to keep an independent record of the checksum to provide a guard against file corruption by accidental error. And web servers just don't come out of the box with these features. When you want to create a new document, your editor asks you for URI instead of telling you. You need to be able to change things like ownership, access, archive level, security level, and so on, of a document in the URI space without changing the URI. Too bad. But we'll get there. At W3C we use JigEdit functionality, Jigsaw server used for editing, which does track versions, and we are experimenting with document creation scripts. If you make tools, servers and clients, take note. This is an outstanding reason, which applies for example to many W3C pages including this one, so do what I say, not what I do. Why should I care? When you change URI on your server, you can never completely tell who will have links to the old URI. They might have made links from regular web pages. They might have bookmarked your page. They might have scrawled the URI in the margin of a letter to a friend. When someone follows a link and it breaks, they generally lose confidence in the owner of the server. They also are frustrated emotionally and practically from accomplishing their goal. Enough people complain all the time about dangling links that I hope the damage is obvious. I hope it also obvious that the reputation damage is to the maintainer of the server whose document vanished. So what should I do? Designing URIs. It is the duty of a webmaster to allocate URIs which you will be able to stand by in 2 years, in 20 years, in 200 years. This needs thought and organization and commitment. URIs change when there is some information in them which changes. It is critical how you design them. What design URI? I have to design URIs? Yes, you have to think about it. Designing mostly means leaving information out. The creation date of the document, the date the URI is issued, is one thing which will not change. It is very useful for separating requests which use a new system from those which use an old system. That is one thing with which it is good to start URI. If a document is in any way dated, even though it will be of interest for generations, then the date is a good starter. The only exception is a page which is deliberately a latest page for example, the whole organization or a large part of it. http://www.pathfinder.com/money/money daily/latest/ is the latest Money Daily column in Money magazine. The main reason for not needing the date in this hurry is that there is no reason for the persistence of the hurry to outlast the magazine. The concept of today's money vanishes if money goes out of production. If you want to link to the content, you would link to it where it appears separately in the archives as http://www.pathfinder.com/money/money daily/1998/12112.money online. Assumes that money will mean the same thing throughout the life of Pathfinder.com. There is a duplication of 98 and an HTML you don't need, but otherwise this looks like a strong hurry. What to leave out everything. After the creation date, putting any information in the name is asking for trouble one way or another. Author's name authorship can change with new versions. People quit organizations and hand things on. Subject. This is tricky. It always looks good at the time but changes surprisingly fast. I discuss this more below. Status directories like old and draft and so on, not to mention latest and cool, appear all over file systems. Documents change status or there would be no point in producing drafts. The latest version of a document needs a persistent identifier whatever its status is. Keep the status out of the name. Access. At W3C we divide the site into team access, member access, and public access. It sounds good, but of course documents start off as team ideas, are discussed with members, and then go public. A shame indeed if every time some document is open to wider discussion all the old links did fail. We are switching to a simple date code now. File name extension. This is a very common one. CGI, even HTML, is something which will change. You may not be using HTML for that page in 20 years' time, but you might want today's links to it to still be valid. The canonical way of making links to the W3C site doesn't use the extension. How? Software mechanisms. Look for CGI exec and other giveaway. Look what software we are using, bits and URIs. Anyone want to commit to using Perl CGI scripts all their lives? Nope. Cut out the place. Read the server manual on how to do it. Disk name, give me a break. But I've seen it. So a better example from our site is simply http://www.w3.org/1998/12/01/ shares a report of the minutes of a meeting of W3C chairpeople. Topics and classification by subject all go into this danger in more detail as it is one of the more difficult things to avoid. Typically, topics end up in URIs when you classify your documents according to a breakdown of the work you are doing. That breakdown will change. Names for areas will change. At W3C, we wanted to change markup to markup and then HTML to reflect the actual content of the section. Also, beware that this is often a flat namespace. In 100 years, are you sure you won't want to reuse anything? We wanted to reuse history and style sheets, for example, in our short life. This is a tempting way of organizing a website and indeed a tempting way of organizing anything, including the whole web. It is a great medium-term solution but has serious drawbacks in the long-term. Part of the reasons for this lie in the philosophy of meaning. Every term in the language is a potential clustering subject and each person can have a different idea of what it means. Because the relationships between subjects are web-like rather than tree-like, even for people who agree on a web may pick a different tree representation. These are my off.
catch up to me. What you running for? Why you not impressed with them racks? What you stunting for? Never triple money, cause I get it and it come and go. If she let me hit it, bitch, you guessed it, I'ma come and go. Can I be diminished? I don't see no limits. My reign is not begun, I let you know when now you finish. I know that I'm the greatest. I know you probably hate it, what a feeling when you make it. And you never had to fake it. After what I'm burning it, I'm coming through disturbing shit. But high for several hours, start to think this shit is permanent. I know you never heard of it, let's see how I can word this shit. A different type of fly, cause I get high to lead the turbulence. If it's rolled and ready, I'ma light it, I can never wait. Couple buses needed, I inhale and then I levitate. The way this hit it, when you get it, I can never say. OG cushion sour gum tripping. Point me to her, I can teach you a few things, I'm not a tutor, dog. And when I finish, pass it to my shooter, alley-ooper, point me to her. I know I can't seduce her, I recruit her, I'm a trooper. I think I can see the future in the super.
Point me to her, I can teach you a few things, I'm not a tutor, dog. And when I finish, pass it to my shooter, alley-ooper, point me to her. I know I can't seduce her, I recruit her, I'm a trooper. I think I can see the future in the super. Teach you a few things, when I finish, teach you a few things, I know I got my
Teach you a few things. Teach you a few things. I'm a trooper. Point me to her, I can teach you a few things, I'm not a tutor, dog. And when I finish, pass it to my shooter, alley-ooper, point me to her. I know I can't seduce her, I recruit her, I'm a trooper. I think I can see the future in the super.
Point me to her, I can teach you a few things, I'm not a tutor, dog. And when I finish, pass it to my shooter, alley-ooper, point me to her. I know I can't seduce her, I recruit her, I'm a trooper. I think I can see the future in the super.
it like a damn meme. Because I am the cream of the crop. Watch me rise to the top. Watch me size up the comp. Watch my eyes as I drop. Almost forgot to pop and lock. Pop that ass and back it up. All the cops, they lock her up. But I can't stop. I only level. Star power in my bag. And it's heavy as fuck. Baby, don't break your stare. Watch me as I rise up. Super future got my back. And I know you can't stand it. This kind of shit, though, you can't plan it. Creme, de la creme. Play it again, play that beat back again. I am the creme, de la creme. Write it down, take notes. Where your pen, where your pen? Creme, de la creme. Repeat it again, repeat it again. I am the creme, de la creme. Write it down, take notes. Where your pen, where your pen? Your girl in my DMs, cause I'm a DJ. I can make you famous, that's what they all say. Hitting up my text like, but my time is precious, think I need some collateral. Back to the main point, huh? Wait, yes, I am the queen, I am the cream, say it with me. Believe in yourself, see in yourself what no one else can see. Say I am the queen, I am the cream, say it with me. Creme, de la creme. Play it again, play that beat back again. I am the creme, de la creme. Write it down, take notes, where your pen, where your pen? Creme, de la creme. Repeat it again, repeat it again. I am the creme,
De la creme.
write it down, take notes, where your pen, where your pen? Because I am the creme. Creme, de la creme. Play it again, play that beat back again. I am the creme, de la creme. Write it down, take notes. Where your pen, where your pen? Creme, de la creme. Repeat it again. I am the creme, de la creme. Write it down, take notes. Where your pen, where your pen?
fake extrovert that she is not. He goes over and over little events in her life, reliving her successes and suffering through her failures all over again.
Thinking about this Django code. Ooh, like what I gotta do. So I gotta put the Django code down right. What I gotta write now, do what I gotta do. Ooh.
This is basically a website for the side in our directory. We have this WSI file. This is basically a web server that Django sets up for us, and we're also not going to touch it now, but we'll just leave it alone for now. Then we have this urls.py file, and this is basically just a URL routing system. So all it is just a list here, and we're going to add a list of paths. So let's say mywebsite.com/customer. When you type in that URL path, it lets the Django project know what to do with that URL. And when you type in that URL path, it lets the Django project know what to do with that URL. And the file that we're going to be using here is this settings.py file. And this is kind of like the command setting, the main configuration to your Django app. You see here we have the database set up here, and anytime we are installing or changing up our database, the main configuration all happens here. So when you want Django to know about a new install, we'll usually add it into this list here. So there's a lot that's done here, and that's all we need to do for now. Okay, so now that I covered the file structure, I want to show you how to launch a page. Django app and show you what actually happens when we turn on our server. So that manage.py file, we're going to use that right now. And in your command prompt, in your root directory of the Django project, make sure you're in there. Go ahead and run python manage.py run server. And go ahead and hit enter. give it a second. And once you see this, it means your server is on, and you can now see your project on port 8000 right here. So something that what I do is actually save that port number as a save tab here, so I don't have to keep typing this in. Go ahead and manually type that in and save it just for this convenience here. So on port 8000, our server is running, and you're gonna see it respond to what we're doing here. And this is the basic setup that Django gives us, and we have access to 2 different pages right now. This is the base template, and if you look in our URL path, we also have access to this admin page here. So I won't go into it, but I'll just show you the access to this admin page here. So I won't go into it, but I'll just show you really quickly what it is. So /admin. And looks like we don't have our database set up yet, but that should set up, or that should go to our admin page. But it kind of just gives us an idea of what's actually happening here. So we can turn off our server by clicking Control C, and sometimes you need to double click that, and that turns off our server. And again, we can turn it back on. by doing run server and activating it. So now that I covered the basic file structures of Django, we need to talk about the concept of apps within our Django project. So this is a little confusing for beginners sometimes, it was for me, but you really see the idea of app scale when your project becomes more than a few pages. So the example I like to think of is the concept of Facebook and how they would structure their project. So Facebook is your base project. That's the Django application we just set up. And Facebook is comprised of multiple sections. So they have things like profile pages, they have things like the news feed and groups. And these, in this example, would be different apps within the entire Facebook project. And a good rule of thumb to think about apps is if you can't explain what that file does in one sentence, it needs to be its own app. And this is where we can separate our database files so we're not coming up with massive file sizes and then creating a bunch of bugs later. We're able to section off our code and keep things a lot simpler. For the sake of this project, I'm going to only create one app, and I think that's going to be accounts. Yeah, we just have an accounts app, and I'm going to keep it simple because our project is too small to need to scale that way. But I will be addressing it later, and you'll be able to get the concept from this project here. If you're a beginner and you don't understand the concept of multiple apps, I would recommend just sticking to the one until you actually see why it makes sense. If you don't know why it helps, I would recommend not using it, and you'll know once a project is so big, and it'll just make sense to you to say, okay, well, yeah, the file structure is getting too big, this needs to be sectioned out, but you shouldn't face that issue until your project actually grows. So for a beginner, I would recommend leaving it alone until it makes sense and you read up more upon it, because you might just confuse your project a little, more than it needs to be. So now that I've covered apps, let's go ahead and actually make one in our project. So I'll go ahead and turn off my server and move this file here so we can actually see what's happening. And to create our app, it's kind of similar to our start project command, except for we're going to use Python manage.py, and we're going to say start app. And we need to give our app a name just like we gave our project. So I'll call our app accounts and go ahead and gonna hit enter. And And you'll see this folder appear here, and it just gives us, again, another set of boilerplate files that we can start working within them. And I'll just go ahead and run down that structure briefly too, just like I did with the initial project. Okay, so here's our accounts folder, and the main files we need to focus on here are going to be the admin panel files, and we'll cover this once we start setting up the admin panel. The models file, and this is going to be where we actually build our database in class-based objects, and it'll represent the file structure that we're going to have in our database. And we'll cover this once we start the admin panel. So here's our accounts folder, and the main files we need to focus on here are going to be the admin panel files, and we'll cover this once we start setting up the admin panel. The models file, and this is going to be where we actually build our database in class-based objects, and it'll represent the file structure that we're going to have in our database. And this views.py file, and these are basically going to, we actually here are going to be the admin panel files, and we'll cover this once we start setting up the admin panel. The models file, and this is going to be where we actually build our database in class-based objects, and it'll represent the file structure that we're going to have in our database. And this views.py file, and these are basically going to be the functions or classes actually that activate, that our URL patterns go to and trigger to actually render out a template and so on. So there's going to be a lot done from here. And that covers it, I think, for the app files. And one thing we'll need to do is configure our app and let our project know, hey, this, be aware of this app, we're now connected. And in here, in installed apps, let's go ahead and add it in as a list item. And you just need to give it the name of whatever you named your app. And ours is accounts. So once we have that, we're looking for a lot done from here. And that covers it, I think, for the app files. And one thing we'll need to do is configure our let our project know, hey, we're now connected, and in here, it's done from here. And that covers it, I think, for the app files. And one thing we'll need to do is configure our app and let our project know, hey, this, be aware of this app, we're now connected. And in here, in installed apps, let's go ahead and add it in as a list item. And you just need to give it the name of whatever you named your app. And be aware of this app, we're now connected. And hey, this, here. And that covers it, I think, for the app files. And one thing we'll need to do is configure our app and let our project know, hey, this, be aware of this app, we're now connected. And in here, in installed apps, let's go ahead and add it in as a list item.
Hey, what's up, Tamar? Hey, what's up, Wood? Hey, what's up, bro? Chillin'. Nah, you good. What's up with you? You alright?
And you just need to give it the name of whatever you named your app. And ours is accounts. So
I mean, yeah, I got a
Django
new
now
computer.
knows that we have this project or this folder within it.
Happy as shit, yo. What you up to, bro?
In the next video, we're gonna
Your resume? Yeah. Okay. What you got going on with that? Oh, bro, you got a lot of stuff to put there. Hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff to put on there. Hmm? Yeah, do that. I mean, they don't even really ask about the education, bro. Like, really, what it's about is just ace that coding interview. You know, they're gonna put like, I'd be talking to business people all day at my job, and a software engineer, the HR, the hiring manager told me what they do is like they'll sit the candidates down and they'll put some code in front of them, then they'll ask them like, hey, what do you think about this? And then you just give them your opinion, see how, might tell them how they can improve it, or something like that. Nah, I work at AT&T. I do customer service right now for business customers. Yeah, way better than doing construction. Nah, you know who's got one though? Elliot. Elliot just got a job. You saw that? Yeah, I'm proud of him, bro. I'm so happy for him. So happy for him. It's our turn, bro. It's your turn now. You said hour every 2 or 3 days? We got to get back into it. Hey, you want to help me start getting the study groups back on? Alright, cool. So, yo, I'm gonna need like a lot of help because like I want to go like big with this one. Like I really want to start it big because I got this new laptop and stuff, so I can start streaming. So that's good. Like how back in the day it was when I had my other laptop. Well, I still got it, but I got a new one now, so it's even better. Yeah, I'm just doing this Dennis Ivy course right now, just chilling. You see that? Yeah, bro, I'm trying to get this thing popping, like, 'cause I definitely do need. Do it, bro. Like a podcast where you're like interviewing someone? Oh, do something, bro. Do something to help people out. This positive shit, we need it. We're about to be having like a lot of people now. You said that you're down, bro. Freaking get this thing on and popping again. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, 2020, I didn't really do nothing. We still got the skills, so that's all that matters. It's not like we're old and can't do shit. Oh yeah? That's not good, bro. That's good. I think I did see it. Yeah, I think I did. How long did it take you to create the login? Wait, how long was it? Nice. Hey, do you see? Are you looking at me on YouTube? Can you tell me what is this installed apps thing? Is that a module? Yeah, what is that? I mean, I'm not sure how much you know Python. That's cool, man. Yeah. yeah, it's sick. Django comes pre-built with like all of that, and it's super secure. And it's got like the database already set up with like SQL 3 Lite. You know Postgres is free, SQL is free. MongoDB is free. Yeah, you can run it locally on your own. Like I'm on like port 8000. You can host it for free on Heroku. Like I host W3 Develops for free on Netlify. I'm not too familiar with them. I act like I am. I really don't know. I haven't really messed with databases yet. All I know is that what I plan on doing is using PostgreSQL instead of MySQL for our database. In the future, when I do start dealing with databases, because I hear that it's got like better. What's it called? It's got like better. I don't know. It's like less. You're less liable to mess yourself up if you're writing in PostgreSQL as compared to MySQL.
You became a world, a mantra lover. The butterflies, they lift me up to the sky. I feel so right when you are
Oh yeah?
on my side.
Oh shit. Show me the shit. Let me see. Let's hop on Discord right quick. Or, like, so let's stay chatting on here, but like. Oh, I gotta turn Discord on. Give me a sec for it to load. Hold on, don't call me again. I'm gonna call you. So if you know. module. Let me just Google something real quick. Hey, pull up this site though. Oh, the login authentic. The one where you have like login. So that's a module. This section. Django still don't look like this. So I gotta plug it all back from here. There we go. Yo.
I've never seen you before. A loading screen. Super cool.
I think you're gonna click on share screen. Except the stream has ended cricket noise. Oh shoot, I see the register, I see the login. What you got going? Oh, and it's hosting on Heroku. I'm telling you stuff you already know.
Wait, can you hear me?
Oh wait, hold on. Let me turn my music down. And
We talking to the phone.
oh yeah, I was talking to you through the phone. Let me turn this music down though, and I'll talk to you through the mic. Give me a sec. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm hanging up the phone for now.
Alright.
Okay. Alright, hey bro, just remember we're like live streaming right now, so.
Oh. Alright, so. Count real quick. Jim. Alright. Jim. Jim at gmail.com. Password Jim. Login. Alright, so
What did you build this with?
HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Node.
No, I knew you knew a little bit. I knew you had to be. I saw recently that you've been messing with Node, bro. Hey, listen to me. Let me share my screen with you really quick.
Alright.
Okay. I'm gonna show you something. And I probably could have just told you to go to the website, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, this is what you were talking about. I don't know what all this is. Am I doing it right?
Think so.
Okay, yeah, I think you're gonna have to click on
Yeah.
Alright, so listen, since you already know JavaScript, what you can do, and since you're already messing with Node,
It's
my buddy
frozen.
told
You gotta
oh, it froze.
but it's
Discord?
not. Well, no, the Discord you have it set on the Discord screen. When you click off, it is
I,
like stays.
I have to do what now?
Switch it to act any screen, whatever it is. No, change window. Where is? Yeah, I think it's green.
Okay. Is that working?
Yeah.
Alright, check it. First of all, Black Lives Matter. Second of all, no, so my buddy told me, go to the docs right here, and, where is it? Just read this stuff, like that, and read this. Where is it? I think it's, let me just make sure. I think this. Alright, so I'm not going to download it because I'm not messing with it right now. So it's the docs though. So you see how I got to the documentation?
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, just go to nodejs.org, go to the documentation, and then the docs are right here. So you can get the docs for whatever release you want from right there. That's not what he told me to go through though. Oh, he said Node. Oh, and it was Express. Okay.
I did Adonis.js.
Okay.
I probably should learn Express though.
I don't know the difference.
It's like
So
a different name of it.
I know. I'm saying I don't know the difference. I really don't. I don't know what Adonis is. I barely know what Node is.
No, Node. Well, no, Node is Adonis and it's Express, but Express and Adonis are two different type things. Like two different Node type language type thing. It's like using like jQuery, but it's still JavaScript, like that type of thing.
Oh, okay. So it's like a framework. It's
Something like
It's just another framework. Okay. Got it. So, all right. So yeah. So what I would recommend is, since you're already messing with Node, right? Go right here to the docs and just go. I believe it's the guides, and just run through some of these guides, and that's really it. Then once you do that, come over here, and you can probably just go to click on getting started, and you can follow these ones. But you should really just, he said if you can learn all this right here, and it's not even that much.
But they got Express freaking built in inside.
So they said, he told me that if you learn this right here, you can go and get a job. He'll give me a job where he works at. So yeah, so like you're already ahead of me. So I'm pretty sure if you just finish learning like this stuff right here on expressjs.com, and probably just the guides on nodejs.org right here, I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to get a job, no problem, bro. Okay, that's really all I want to show you.
So you don't need no front end framework, just a back end.
What are you talking about?
Like you don't need like React, Angular. You just need HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Express for his job.
You're talking about Angular? Yeah, that's with the front end. I'm not talking about the front end. We're talking about Node, right?
Yeah, I mean, but he said he'll hire you if you just learn Node.
He said just learn Node and Express. He said learn JavaScript from where I was learning it at, over there on Mozilla Developer Network. And he said learn, he said learn the Node.js, this little bit of Node.js you see here, all this getting started stuff. And then he said learn Express, just a little bit in this guide right here. he'll get me a job. He said like 70, 80,000. And this was like 2 years ago. Or like a year ago, like last year. So I'm sure, the job hasn't gone anywhere.
I thought I needed a framework. I thought I needed a front-end framework to get a job. I
Oh,
really could get a
my
job.
bad, bro. Finish sharing your screen. I want to finish seeing your project.
Oh, yeah. You gotta stop yours.
Oh, I do.
You wanna call?
I'm back. Oh, there we go.
So basically, just type in something, whatever, and then save to list. You can save them, site like your actual. What you save them, these go in your actual list, and then I have it. You can view the recipe. This is an external site, like the actual recipe. So, and then you can remove it. So, yeah.
Keep going. That shit looks nice, bro.
Yeah.
Is this on your portfolio?
Yeah. I'm trying to put it up. Wait, yeah, it is on my portfolio already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like this is like a fully functional website, cuz. Like,
Here's
bro,
my
you need.
portfolio right here.
Yeah. Ooh. You wrote the code for it? Oh, hell yeah, you're hosting it. Yeah,
I
right.
put this on Heroku, and here's the website.
Bro, I might need your Hoken set up with Heroku. I need to figure out how to put some stuff on there.
It took me a while to figure out how to use this thing.
Yeah, but you got it, so,
Yeah.
I just want to learn how to use it because I can host W3 develops from there when we convert to Django.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
And then my resume. Wait, I don't want. Wait, you're streaming right now. I don't want to show that.
Show the resume, bro. Show the people the resume, bro.
I have my phone number on there.
Oh, well, shoot. The employers. Oh, yeah, I feel you. You might get a million hits.
Yeah.
Like, who's that cute guy that was on there the other day?
Trolls are gonna be calling me. Say if the video blows up, they go to the video. Start trolling.